Who was the first person you called or texted when you won the job?
Honestly, it was my brother at Oregon. I talk to him every single day. He's a role model, and I ended up going home 2 nights ago, so I got to go see my family and stuff, and have dinner, and celebrate for that couple of hours, and then it's back to the drawing board and how we're going to beat Purdue.
Did you have any sense that you were going to win the job?
No, I think that's one thing. We've had open communication with Coach Lindgren and Coach Smith, but they've done a good job of keeping Chance and I competitive spirits up, and we competed till the very last bit. But we were splitting reps, and it was a great competition. It will continue to be a competition, I think, as the season goes, and that's exactly how I want it, and how I know that they want it, and so we'll continue to push each other and get better every single day.
You knew you'd be competing for this job when you first transferred here, but I'd imagine when you transferred here, the intention was for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
As an Oregon kid, what does this kind of feel like to be walking out there week 1 in Ross-Ade as an Oregon State guy, being the starting quarterback?
It's an honor. I mean, just to represent the state, Oregon State University, and the home state, my home state. It's an honor. It's a privilege, and now we got to go win some games, and hopefully we can do that.
For you, just what was your road game experience like across the Pac-12 last year, and how does that help when you're walking into a near sellout in a Big Ten venue, and what that feel is going to be?
Yeah, I think last year was a little bit different, obviously with COVID. We played on a couple games, but we got the jobs done both times that we played on the road. But I had some experience as a starter, against Texas in the Alamo Bowl, and there was fans, and there was about 15,000 fans there, so a lot of them were wearing orange. So it was definitely more of a road game, but just to have that experience under my belt, I think gives me a little bit more confidence going into this game, and knowing Big Ten, they got great fan base, and I played at Nebraska, played at Michigan, played some of these big iconic stadiums, and I think that, like I said, having that experience is ultimately going to help myself, and I can kind of tell some of these younger guys what they should be ready for.
Do you feel like situationally, especially in the last week since you've become the starter, I mean, I guess it's only a day or two of practice time since then, but do you feel like you've done a better job just situationally knowing what's needed, play clock wise, checks at the line, minimizing mistakes, all of those things? You feel like that's gotten refined a little bit more and has some more space to go before you get into week 1?
I think it has, and I think it will continue to get better, but I think ultimately that's kind of been, as a quarterback, you got to know those things. I know the situation, know the shot clock, know, what the down distance is, what you need if we're doing 2 minute, things like that. I think that you have to know that every single time you step out on the field, and that's one thing that Coach Lindgren does a good job of making sure, communicating that with us, and Coach Boyer, who's in that quarterback room as well, he does a really good job with that. So I think that as we get closer to game 1, that's going to be a crucial part of the game, and we know that coming down in fourth quarter might hopefully it's not a close game, but it could very well be that way. And so we got to finish drives and execute and make sure those small details are cleaned up.
Should have followed up on it. What did your brother say when you told him you had won the job?
He was excited. He was really happy for me. This just first off, taking the step and transferring was a big deal, obviously. And, I think that when all the hard work now is paying off a little bit, I think that my family's definitely seen all that, seen the behind the scenes, everything through thick and thin. So I think that they're very excited and happy for me and ready to get this thing going.
Can he bring himself to root for Oregon State at least for 11 of the 12?
I don't know if his job would allow that. I'm sure he'll be rooting for us. I know deep down that he wants the best for me and best for our team. 11 out of those 12 games, but we got a lot of love and support even from my friends back at Colorado, and fans back there too said they're all rooting for me. All the games except for one. So definitely felt the love.
Does practice change at all for you, just from a mental standpoint, or maybe a number of reps you get when you're the clear-cut one, as opposed to being maybe the guy taking the majority of the 1 reps, but the competition is still open?
I don't think it changes. I don't think, my mindset changes. I've kind of, like you said, like I didn't come here to sit on the bench. It's been a great competition, yes. But at the same time, all of our mindsets have been, we're going to be the guy. I think everybody in that room, Sam, Chance, Tristan, I think all of us have been kind of that starter mentality. And that's what you need. You need that from all your quarterbacks because, they're one play away from playing. And I've been in that role, but I've also been the starter role. So I think, my mindset for both of those roles is just to how are we going to put the team in the best position to win.
There's quarterback competitions at, all over the place. Some of the rooms, it's pretty collaborative even in the middle of competitions. Mm-hmm. There's some stories out of rooms where it can get a little dicey between guys who think that they should be the starter in certain cases. What is this room like for you?
I think the chemistry, the guys in that room like I said when we had our interview last, I think that everybody was going to support everybody no matter what. And I think I've seen nothing but that. I think our guys have been, such a great job. And they've definitely, like I said, they'll continue to work and continue to get better. But that room has stayed tight, and I expect it to continue to stay tight. And we're going to now just any way we can to help each other beat Purdue.
You didn't win the job by a mile.
Yeah.
You're in your 6th year. Is it going to be easier for you not looking over your shoulder while you're playing? Because if you're younger, maybe you would wonder, is this pass going to take me out of the game? Is the experience helpful in that situation?
I was in the same exact situation last year. They told me, if you aren't playing as well as you should be, then we'll put, the next guy in. And so, that's how this game works. I've seen it. You can't worry about that. You just got to focus on, okay, what play? I got to focus on the play and the task at hand, and you can't worry about looking over your shoulder, like you said. You just got to stay level-headed and continue to grind and keep your head down and work.
Are there any particular receivers you built a nice chemistry with just through camp and going into this week?
I think all of them. Obviously I've had just getting the rotation with all the quarterbacks. I think we've had the opportunity to work with all the guys, and I know that's a special room, and I'm excited to go out there and execute and make plays with them on Saturday.
You got here a little late. How was it picking up the playbook? What was kind of your approach to getting there to get yourself in position to challenge for the starting job in the incarnate?
Yeah, no, it was great. I think it wasn't easy. I think obviously coming in here late is a difficult task to do and trying to adapt to a new offense. And I think that some of the terminology and some of the schematics are the same from when Lindgren and I were together in Colorado last. But there's a lot of change in it too. So. They were throwing stuff at us every single day, and it'd be like one day I get it down, the next day they're putting in something else. So but I've learned that's how it works, and it's fast, and I know that it'll continue to get fast as you go up to the next level. And so I think it was actually really good for me to just get used to that, but I feel like right now I'm very confident in the whole playbook. I feel like I know it inside and out, and we'll continue to digest in this game plan and just continue to work.
Obviously, a big part of any quarterback's game is the protection he gets from the guys up front. Mm-hmm. I think it's fair to say that the offensive line is one of the strengths of this team. Yeah. What have you seen from the offensive line here, and how do you feel they're going to kind of help you out this year?
I think I've seen leadership and poise. I think those guys, with the experience that they have under their belt, I think that helps tremendously. I've been in Colorado and where we haven't had a big experience, and that shows. Last year, we had a great offensive line too with a lot of experience. So. Just as a quarterback, it just takes a little bit less stress off that play, right? And it just makes you kind of, you be able to sit back there a little bit longer than normal, but at the same time, you got to have your head on a swivel and just react. And, I think they've done a great job, had a great camp, and like I said, just their leadership has really shown. So it's been great.
Do you think the relationship that you build with the other quarterbacks and like that competitive nature that was instilled from when you first got here, did that help kind of the transition become a little easier?
Yeah, I think so. I think that just being in the quarterback position from the first start, from the get-go, you're kind of put into a leadership role, right? And so, having some leadership skills, knowing what a locker room's like, knowing, just having some experience under my belt, I think that kind of helped the transition a little bit. But ultimately, it's just, I think that, just having a great attitude, knowing that these guys are working just as hard, if not harder. Some of these guys are in there all the time, and the younger guys in there working, and just having a mindset that, that, you know, they're working just as hard. And so, you know, you got to, you know, give them credit for that and continue to just build the relationships and build the chemistry in that room and in that offense and you know, obviously in the building with everybody, I think is important.